On June 9th, Anthropic launched not one but two new models, Claude Fable 5 and Claude Mythos 5. And here is the kicker. They are the same model, same brain and even same capabilities. Only thing that is different is what they are allowed to do. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly why Anthropic split one model into two, what it can actually do that no previous models could, and the part nobody is talking about, the new safety system that quietly intercepts your messages. Now here is the deal. Anthropic has tiers of models. You have got Haiku at the bottom, fast and cheap, Sonnet at the middle, Opus at the top, or at least Opus used to be at the top. But now there is a new tier above all of them called Mythos-class. And Fable 5 is the first one that regular people like you and me can actually use. I had just talked about it in my previous video last week and I expected that given the release pattern it should be out somewhere in July. But to my surprise it was out just 12 days later. Anthropic says that Fable 5's capabilities exceed those of any model they have ever made generally available, especially in the areas of software engineering, knowledge work, vision and scientific research. And the longer and more complex the task, the larger Fable 5's lead over other models. Fable 5 and Mythos 5 are being offered at $10 per million input tokens and $50 per million output tokens, which is less than half the price of Claude Mythos Preview, but double of Claude Opus 4.8. Now, if Fable 5 and Mythos 5 are similar models, then what's the difference between them? Mythos 5 is available only to a small group of cyber defenders and infrastructure providers. Mythos 5 is actually an upgrade to Claude Mythos Preview. Anthropic didn't release Claude Mythos Preview publicly because its cybersecurity capabilities were dangerous enough to cause serious real-world harm if misused. It was deployed through Project Glasswing, where selected organizations like AWS, Apple, Google, Microsoft were given access. They get the unrestricted version because they are correcting the vulnerabilities in the software that runs the modern world. And when it comes to Fable 5, it's the same underlying model as Mythos 5, but with the safeguards implemented in some areas. It is available to general public, but Anthropic has enabled safety classifiers, so whenever these classifiers identify prompts misusing it in areas like cybersecurity, biology, chemistry, or even distillation attempts to extract Claude's capabilities to train competing models, the response is automatically handled by Claude Opus 4.8 instead of powerful Claude Fable 5. And since Opus 4.8 is less powerful than Fable 5, the responses can do much less damage if misused. Anthropic has enabled these classifiers conservatively, so they sometimes catch even harmless, innocent requests in less than 5% of the sessions. Now that might be frustrating for users, but Anthropic is working on reducing these false positives. These classifier safeguards cover three areas. First area is cybersecurity. Mythos-class models excel at discovering and exploiting software vulnerabilities. They can make cyber attacks substantially easier and cheaper to commit. The cybersecurity classifiers cover both exploitation and offensive cyber tasks. And if you look at the graph, these classifiers prevent Fable 5 from making any progress on these tasks. That's why you see 0% success rate in offensive cyber evaluations. The second area is biology and chemistry. These classifiers block the models from responding on a narrow selection of bioweapons related queries. But since it is practically impossible to classify good queries and bad queries in this area, Anthropic has arranged for Fable 5 to fall back to Opus 4.8 on most requests related to biology and chemistry for the time being. The third area is distillation. There have been large-scale attempts in the past to extract Claude's capabilities to train competing models. Now, to avoid copying models' capabilities, requests that are flagged by classifiers as being part of such distillation attempts will fall back to Opus 4.8. Now, let's look into the improved capabilities of Fable 5 and Mythos 5. Software engineering. Cognition's frontier code evaluation, which tests whether models can pass difficult coding tasks while meeting the standards of high-quality production code bases, Fable 5 scores highest among frontier models even at medium effort. In both SWE Bench Pro and Frontier Code Evaluation, Fable 5 surpassed both Opus 4.8 and GPT 5.5. SWE Bench Pro is a benchmark that tests how well an AI model can actually do real software engineering work and not toy problems but messy production-grade tasks. Second, knowledge work. Fable 5 shows strong performance on complex analytical tasks. And on Hebia's finance benchmark for senior level reasoning, Fable 5 has the highest score of any model and also shows substantial gains in document-based reasoning, chart table interpretation and problem solving. Number 3. Vision. Fable 5 can extract precise numbers from detailed scientific figures and can perform complex vision-based tasks like rebuilding a web app's source code just from screenshots. Claude Fable 5 could play Pokémon FireRed from start to finish using only raw game screenshots, with no maps, navigation aids, or extra game state information. Earlier Claude models needed complex helper tools to play Pokémon. Claude Fable 5 completed the game with vision alone. Number 4. Memory and long context. Fable 5 stays focused across millions of tokens in long-running tasks, much more than previous models. Number 5. Drug design. Using Mythos 5, Anthropic's internal protein design experts accelerated aspect of drug design process by around 10 times. They found that Mythos 5 with protein design and bioinformatics tools but no human assistance matches or beats skilled human operators. Number 6. Novel hypothesis in molecular biology. Now, when it comes to hypothesis, scientists preferred Mythos molecular biology hypothesis 80% of the time against Opus class models. Number 7. Alignment. Now, when it comes to misalignment, which tests if model sometimes lies, manipulates, helps bad actors, or acts in its own interest, Claude Mythos 5 and Fable 5 scored similar to Opus 4.8. Now let's have a quick look into the benchmarks. When it comes to agentic coding, knowledge work, reasoning, tool use, computer use, or benchmarks in areas like biology, legal, or health, Mythos 5 and Fable 5 perform better than Opus 4.8, GPT 5.5, and Gemini 3.1 Pro. And there are just two benchmarks, computer use and multidisciplinary reasoning with tools, where Claude Mythos Preview performs slightly better than Mythos 5 and Fable 5. Now let's talk about availability. Claude Mythos 5 is restricted to Glasswing partners and soon to select biology researchers. Claude Fable 5 is available everywhere today. But there is a catch here. Till June 22, Fable 5 is included on Pro, Max, Team, and seat-based enterprise plans at no extra cost. But on June 23rd, Anthropic will remove Fable 5 from those plans. It will then require usage credits, though the plan is to restore Fable 5 as a standard part of subscription plans in future. I hope this video gave you a quick peek into Mythos class models. Please subscribe to be updated with all the AI advancements happening around. And don't forget to use Fable 5 before 23rd June. Thank you so much.